Hey, good morning, folks. This is AJ, and we're here at our church to try and fix the issues that I went through on the review of our Facebook Live. So let's go. This is your first time stopping by the channel. Thanks for stopping by, and on this channel we focus on tips, training, strategies, reviews, and builds to help modernize your media ministry. So if you're new here, consider subscribing. Alright, so the first thing noticed, it looks like they couldn't get the monitors right, so they shifted everything onto this monitor, which is not correct, because as you can see they have the monitors backwards. And if I come in here, we go to display, and if we output, see now it's working, but they have it backwards, so we need to fix this. Like that, and then we're gonna say that is the primary monitor, not this one. Alright, so that fixes this. And if we output, now we're back here. Now we have to see what was the problem with the audio and how come it wasn't played. So I have our announcements queued up. And here's the sound that comes in from the computer. Have to unmute that first. And I don't want to scare the kids, so let me turn off the amps here. Alright, we just want to see, do we get any reading on here? So let's go ahead and play that. Alright, nothing is coming in on here. So let's see, do we hear anything? No. Alright, let's see. Oh, because it got the volume all the way down. That would be a reason. Well, that's one of the reasons. But I'm not getting anything. So let's see what's going on with the audio. Audio is fine. Let's do a test just to make sure. Let's play something. Alright, so we know the issue is somewhere tied into ProPresenter because we're getting audio. Because I can hear the song coming through here. So let's go ahead and log into OBS. Let's make sure we're getting sound as well here. So as you can see, we're still getting music. I don't know why OBS is taking a while to open. And this is what I did on our review. As you can hear the audio is coming through. But as you can hear, still no sound is coming through. We should be getting some type of audio. And this is, my Stream Deck is not working. What in the world? So let's try and walk through what's possibly going on. So the audio is being connected directly into the system right here. Then audio is coming out of here, and that's what is going into the Behringer. The Behringer converts it to AES, which is what the old ATEM recognizes. So what we need to do is see its audio even making it here. So let's go ahead and plug in some headphones and let's see what we get. Nothing. Okay, somebody hit a button. All right, so I'm gonna have to, as you can hear now, you can hear everything. So I'm wondering how that was hit. All right, so let me finish this, let me document this, and then we gotta go to part 2. All right, and as you can see, we're getting audio here. And again, it was because with the Behringer, it does a sample conversion of our sound. It is a form of digital that is coming out of here into here, but then it's converting it to the type of digital that the ATEM recognizes. So we're outputting actually to RCA, and that's how this comes in. That's actually what this adapter is right here that you see. But then coming in, it's bringing in RCA as well too. So it's converting it to the appropriate output, which is AES EBU. All right. So normally when this is set, this is nothing that needs to be touched with this, and that's why we kind of leave it on, and when the system shuts down, this whole thing turns off, and there's really no reason to touch any of this. But that's a process of elimination. We heard the sound is coming in, it's picking up in the board, then the board, it comes to here, and then here it goes here. So if all of the audio shows up, but it wasn't showing up here, it had to be here or back there, but that's why we started right there. So that was an easy fix. And I just sent a message to the media team with a photo, and I will update that. So normally I didn't think I needed to document this because it's just set, but what I'm gonna do is take pictures of all the settings of what it needs to be, and that will be another kind of like a troubleshooting type of issue if there's sound. But like we were talking about, we have the sound on here. So the idea is if we switch to any of our inputs here, you can hear it, but we're gonna keep it down obviously, so you don't wanna hear that through. So, and as you hear, we can hear all of the sounds, but we just wanna make sure when we're here that you hear sound, and the reason it stopped because the song I was playing stopped. I didn't have it on loop. Oh, something's playing now. Oh, that was me playing the doxology. All right, so again, that's one of the things just to check if you're getting audio. All right, so let's move on to the next issue. All right, so what I'm thinking about doing because of the way we have our stuff set up, we have 2 monitors, and then monitor 3 is the one that's going to the ATEM. And it just shows up as another monitor, but we're cloning monitor number 2 and monitor number 3 so that when whoever's operating, they can see what ProPresenter is outputting, but then it would also show exactly the same way, unedited, what's going to go on here. When I say unedited, that's when we do the lower thirds, remove the black and everything on that screen. And a lot of times we have this issue. So the ATEM is on, and if I turn the TV on now, there's our multi-view. See, this does not show up because it's just like a monitor. And with this ATEM, it doesn't really detect. So sometimes we have to come in here, unplug the cable, plug it right back in to force a sync, and now you can see everything is showing up. What we want to do to remove that, as much as I don't want to do it, is to buy the SDI and NDI module for ProPresenter, which will allow this to be broadcast out over the DeckLink mini monitor. That's what I used to have in this video that I'll tag up here that I used to use, but since I'm doing stuff in 4K, it can't support it. So it's just been sitting on my desk. So what I'm gonna do is, because darn it, I can't do that. I was gonna say I was gonna take out the graphics card on here and then put the DeckLink in instead, but I forgot we didn't put a APU inside the system. So what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna take the APU out of our streaming system, put that in this system so that we have graphics out. Then I'm gonna put the 1050 that's in this system into our streaming system, as well as the 1200 Ryzen 3 1200, and that will go in that system. And then the DeckLink Mini is going to go inside the system. So that was a lot more work than I thought. So let's get started. So we got everything switched over. I am currently doing a live stream test right now, just to make sure that the Ryzen 3 1200 can handle it. As you can see, CPU usage overall is about 32%, using half amount of memory, and really not doing much of anything. As you can see, GPU is about a 50%, which is good. And if I go here, OBS is not using more than about 12%, 12.4%. So this system should be stable. Switched everything over to the NVIDIA encoder, and so that it hands off all the work over to the GPU, so it should be good. So now on to ProPresenter. All right, as you can see, we got everything configured. I don't know why ProPresenter has these monitors backwards like this, but as you can see, this is outputting here, and that's it. Now, because we're only using 2 outputs, nothing is showing up over here. So we just need to make sure that when we output this, that audio is also going out over the no, actually, never mind, don't need to do that, because audio is going to be, we're plugging in audio directly from here, so we just really need the image. So now what I'm going to do is test out the ProPresenter for SDI and NDI, and we're going to come in here. Let me actually stop this video here, and we're going to go over here to modules, and we're going to demo this right now. Yes, I knew. And this is the one that I want to test out. So the device is not showing because I don't have the drivers installed. Awesome. Let me go install the DeckLink drivers. Alrighty, ProPresenter DeckLink mini monitor, take 2. Alright, let's wait for it to get started, and we're gonna see how this works with the demo module. And if it works, the main thing we're going to be testing is to make sure, do we get an output through here, and when we run the DSK for lower thirds, does that work? All right, and we finished our live stream test. I tested out audio here and everything worked. So that button being pressed, the sample conversion was the issue. with our Behringer, which is good because I was thinking it might have been something that died on here, or maybe the Behringer itself, but that part is good. All right, so we're back here. Let's bring back up our announcement here, and we got it going on the screen. So what we're gonna do is go in here to preferences, and we're back here on this module, our output device, the mini monitor. The mode is gonna be 1080i 60, and let's just confirm that. Let's see what our output is over here. One. Oh, 1080i 5994. That's what we need to do. So all right, so we have it set, but obviously it's not working because it's behind the pay gate of a module. So let's go back in here now, and we're gonna run some demo modules here. Turn on the demos, yes. And set this all again. And, oh, there you go. And it does have the little mark on there because it's the demo. Have to pay for that. It's $100, which I'm not too thrilled about, because again, I would almost want to switch over to Worship Extreme because I wouldn't have to pay for this, but Worship Extreme I don't believe will push this out, but that's a good test to see if that will work, and I'm sure there's a workaround to get this working, but we're going to leave this on, and what we're going to do is just bring up some scripture here. And we want to see, will the lower third portion work? So let's bring up our static camera, which it already is, and then we're just going to hit DSK, and as you can see, it works. So going with this module will fix the inconsistency with having to disconnect the monitors and all this other stuff. So it would just be only the output of this. So my only problem with that is if we tried to play a video, everything would need to be done here. Now for my media ministry, it's going to have to change. So normally we would bring up media player and anything like that if we were playing some standalone videos, but the only way for it to now show up on the screen is it has to be done through ProPresenter, which is good to the fact it's gonna force everything to be done that way, but that means that just a lot of documentation is going to need to be changed when we play DVDs, and I try not, most of the DVDs that we play are for funerals, but they would have to be played through ProPresenter so that they show up on the screen. Music is not that big of a deal. We can still play that because we're capturing sound directly to the audio board, so that's not a problem. But it's just if we wanted to display or present anything, it would have to go over that mini monitor out. So that's going to be a little change, but such is the nature if you want to make some things a lot easier. And plus, that's a lot easier than switching out the whole ATEM and then or hooking up some way to where it will always give an output register as a monitor, because that's mainly the main issue. I'm just trying to think of another way that would work. I really don't know, but either way, we'll see how this works Sunday, and we'll go from there.